So, you've got your tools, you've got your hammer and your anvil, you've got your charcoal forge, you've got your pot of water. Now what? So, this is obviously not the ideal setup. You wouldn't want to be on your knees all the time, although this is how the Japanese would have forged many times. I know some of you will think that I'm trying to emulate them. I'm not. I'm wearing the headband because it's really humid today. You can probably see the sweat marks on my shirt already. But it's just a good way to keep the sweat out of my eyes. And with this setup, all of this setup was relatively cheap. The forge is built out of an old plowshare. I may make a video on how to make one of those one day. The anvil is a small piece of minecart railroad track that's been carved into an anvil shape. I didn't make this, I actually got given it, but you don't need a railroad track anvil. It could be just a block of steel, and it's just sitting on a block of hardwood. The fuel I'm using is charcoal, but you could use solid wood. It wouldn't get as hot, but I have charcoal, so I'm going to use it. I'm also using a small amount because fire bans are still in season, but because I'm inside and because I'm only running a small pot, it should be fine. I'm obviously using a hand crank blower. You could use a hairdryer or something like that. And today I'm going to be forging on a couple of pieces of steel, a piece of mild steel, 1/4 inch or 6.3 millimeters of mild steel, and a piece of 1/2 inch rebar. So all I've got is a 3-pound club hammer. Obviously this is not the perfect hammer for forging, it's fairly short-handled, but these are relatively cheap at most of your, Bunnings or hardware stores, Lowe's I think in America, Ace Hardware. These are relatively cheap and they're relatively easy to find. So using all of these, I'm going to show you a little bit of what you can do now that you've got all your gear together. So, with any charcoal forge, obviously the first thing to do is to start it. Now there are a million different ways to start a fire. You can use a blowtorch, which is what I normally use. But today, because we're going basic, I'm just going to use a set of matches. I've just got some paper towel from the shop, a little bit of paper. And one handy trick that I learned with striking matches is instead of striking away from the matchbox, instead brace your ring finger on the tip of the match and strike downwards. I've never broken a match using that technique. Oop. Although lighting the paper can be a problem. You want to let the match get up to heat and not immediately stick it into the fire like I just did. And once the paper starts burning, we can start adding some air to try and increase the heat a little bit. I'm just going to start piling in the charcoal and start getting that up to temperature. And by now I can already see that the coals are glowing on their own. So that's the fire started. The smoke's already run out. This is the advantage to working charcoal, is that it gets up to heat relatively quickly. And there you go, that's the charcoal fire already started, ready for forging. Now we're getting up to heat. Didn't take very long. This is why I like to use thin stock in small pots. You hear the roar of the fire. But, here we go. Now obviously, this being on a concrete floor, the wood is bouncing around a bit. This would be better on dirt. But As you can see, we made a rough taper. Very rough, but it's a start. So just pile the coals back up and get back to turning. So, I've just made a bit of an adjustment, and my dog has come to visit. But I have put a wetted towel underneath the anvil stand to try and increase the shock absorbance of the wood to make it bounce around less. So we'll see how that goes. And the reason I'm using a wetted towel rather than just a normal towel is A, because it'll withstand the impact a bit better, and B, it won't catch light if scale drops on it. The wonderful thing about working this 6mm steel is that it doesn't take very long to heat up. Once it's at heat, it gets back up to heat very quickly. And as I'm used to kneeling while forging, as I am, I reckon I could get used to this fairly quickly if I did this quite regularly. So don't discount it as an option if you don't have a large stump or a framework to put your anvil on. Obviously standing up is ideal, but if this is all you have, then this is what you work with. I don't want to keep this charcoal pot running too long, and I'm already running low on charcoal, so I think I might not get to the rebar forging. As you can see, the little anvil is working quite well, and if I were to mount it to a larger block, then it would be a lot more sturdy. But this is serving the purpose. Just making Roy from Chrysler Ironworks proud. I'm making a scroll. If you ever watch this, Roy, this one's for you. So there you go, there's a nice tight little scroll. I'll just show that to the camera. Probably isn't in focus. Stand up, get behind the camera. But yeah, so there you have it. Nice little scroll forged on a tiny little railroad track anvil with a rudimentary charcoal forge. And that is all you need to get started in blacksmithing, realistically. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and if you liked it, don't hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. It does help get the word out there. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon to get notified of when I upload a new video. I upload every Wednesday, and I also do a live stream on Saturdays at 9 AM Australian Western Standard Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time +8. So if you ever want to check in and say hi to us on live stream, feel free to check in on Saturdays. Also, if you want to suggest anything that I can teach in my further videos, I do plan on doing more tips videos for blacksmithing beginners. This is not the end. This is just the end of my 5-part series. You can comment down below with any suggestions you might have for stuff you want to see me teach. So with that being said, I'd want to say thank you to my patrons, Kine, Nathan, and Andy. You guys keep the hammer in my hand, gas in the bottle, charcoal in the forge. And if you want to support my channel, you can go to patreon.com/Samtownsbladesmith and donate for as little as $1 a month. It helps me get on my feet, keeps me forging, keeps me making these awesome videos. You don't have to though, my content is always free. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can donate through Ko-fi. The link will be in the description below, along with all the other links to my social media. They donate in multiples of 3. You basically buy me a coffee for when I'm doing my tea sessions on my live streams. Anyone who watches my live streams will know what I'm talking about. Anyway guys, hope you have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.